I think for a lot of amateurs who do struggle with their ball striking, getting them to shorten down their swing is going to make life way more manageable. Quite often you'll actually find it, whenever they try and dial it back and hit a 3/4 shot, they actually tend to hit it further than their normal full swing. Why? Because things work in sync, they hit it out the middle of the face, they control things a lot better, and actually they just become far more efficient, which means the ball goes further. So the first lesson we can learn from John is that he has amazing width in his golf swing. Now firstly, what is width? Width is the distance the hands are away from the chest throughout the swing. So you can see in John's backswing, he gets very, very wide at the top. He maintains good width. Now, what do we see with most amateurs, especially those that get long and loose at the top? Well, we see sort of the opposite. The arms will collapse, the body will stop turning, the hands will then get very close to the body, everything gets very, very long. Then from there, it is extremely hard to time on the way down. You're gonna have to throw things out, you're gonna have to stall the body, you're not gonna have any consistency in strike, club path, or club face position, resulting in poor shots. So, if we can maintain good width, we are going to find that we get a lot more space to time everything on the way down, and also we're going to be able to just tear our body through, so you'll be able to swing harder at it even though you're in a shorter position. So how do we generate more width? Well, it's a combination of A, turning the body more, and B, keeping the trail arm wide. So the first thing that I want to do is give you a drill that is going to help you feel that position. So what you're going to do is you're going to set up to the ball normally, grip the club with your left hand. Then from there, you're just going to hike it up so you create a right angle between your left arm and the club. Then from there, take your trail hand and grip it so it's 50-50 on the grip and the shaft. So here you can see I've maintained this right angle between my left arm and the club, and my right arm is pretty straight right here. Now, I'm just going to make a backswing turn, and I'm going to feel like I'm as wide as possible with that right arm. And you can see I can only really swing to about here. Now the reason why this drill is so effective is when we split the hands on the grip, we actually increase the amount we can keep that trail arm wide in the backswing. So in this position, we can really exaggerate that feeling of staying wide, getting that good width. You can see my head hasn't followed the hands, it stayed pretty centered, and in this position it's taught me how to turn my chest, how to get my hands and arms synced up. Now if you can only take it to chest high in this position, that's absolutely fine. I would rather everything be synced up so that then you can turn through as hard as you want in the downswing. Then you start to have to collapse your arms down. And again, this is always going to be a little bit of an over-exaggeration. So don't be too worried if it is a very short swing when you do this. So if I do it one more time for you, I'm going to feel what it feels like to have that trail arm nice and wide in this position. You can see it is relatively straight. Still got a slight amount of fold there, but it is relatively straight right there. Now, once you've done that a couple times, I then want you to grip the club normally. Now the sensation I want you to have is to try and repeat that same feeling. The feeling you're going to be having is that that right arm is pushing away from you on the club. When it pushes away from you on the club, you can see in this position, it's going to get me that nice width that we're looking for. It's going to make the swing a little bit more compact right here. If we can do that, we're going to find that width is going to stay there the whole time in the backswing. So then when we turn through in the downswing, we start our sequencing in the downswing, we're going to see we can just rip our body through. Let me give it a go for you right here. Here's how I want you to practice it. Get into that drill first, hike the club up, grip it there, feel that great width, feel that right arm, keep that width in the backswing. Then from there, grip the club normally, repeat that same feeling, awesome. Then we're just gonna have a swing right here where I try and replicate that same feeling. So I felt like I really shortened the swing down. That was a beautiful little 5-yard draw right there. If I could do that every time, I'm going to be a happy man. So that is the first key, width. Now let's jump into the second key. The second lesson we can learn from John Rahm is that if you have a shorter backswing, you want to be neutral to slightly laid off. What does that look like? Well, for a shorter swing, that means that at the top of the backswing, we want to see that the club head is behind the hands. Now, relatively neutral in this position will be about there. The more we go this way, the more laid off we're going to be. Obviously, that was quite excessive, but it's neutral to laid off. The reason for this is this presets the center of mass. The center of mass is roughly where I can balance the club on my finger. It presets it behind my hands. This means then when I sit and turn into my left side, the club is already shallow. If I'm that golfer who has a shorter swing but gets what we class as across the line to where it points to the right of target, from there I have to spend so long trying to get the club to shallow out that it just becomes too difficult and too hard to time. So if you are that golfer who needs to get a little bit more laid off at the top, then you need to work on really trying to feel that club head get behind you. One of my favorite drills for this is to simply take the right hand off the club and just swing with your left arm only. Reason being is the weight of the club head is going to stay behind your body. It's going to force you into that laid off position. Now, once you've done that a couple times and you get used to feeling that heavy club head drop behind you, what I then want you to do is to take your right hand, place it on the side of the grip and just open it up so the palm is open. Again, from here, you're just going to feel like the club can fall into the palm right there. That's going to put you in a great position. If I then just close my hand up, that's a great laid off position for you right there. That is going to put you in the best possible position to where you can just rip your body through as hard as you want, and you're going to see that you are going to have a short, compact swing, hit the ball a mile, and have great consistency. So, left arm only swing to start with, get used to that sensation. Right arm on the side, or right palm on the side of the grip, but open. Let the club fall into that hand. Then from there, once you've done that a couple times, then it's go time. Now you can hit the ball. So the third thing that we can learn from John is actually a drill that he was given by his coach when he was a teenager. Now this drill is amazing for two reasons. Number one, it teaches you how to hit the ball hard from a very, very short swing, but it also is sort of a psychological breakthrough to where you get used to swinging it excessively short so that when you then go to the golf course, everything feels a little bit longer, even though then it's actually a nice compact swing. So what is the drill? Why does it work so well? The drill is you set up normally to a golf ball, then from there you're going to take it back to your hip high, and then you're going to turn through and hit it as hard as you can. Now here's the thing, on the golf course I would very, very rarely recommend taking it back to your hip height and then accelerating it through as hard as you can. But if you think about it, most golfers want to have that sort of shoulder to shoulder swing. That's like a nice compact short swing. So if we psychologically push ourselves to go way shorter than that and then accelerate through to a high follow through position, not only are we going to get used to swinging excessively short so that when we sort of don't think about it, we go a little bit past it back to that shoulder height, but also it's going to teach us how to sequence our body on the way down in order to then generate a great impact position, but a lot of distance. So this is a drill I want you to do a lot of. Let me show you it first. So I'm going to take it back to about hip high. I might go a little bit past it. Again, feel versus real, two very different things. And I'm going to feel like I start with my lower body and I turn through all the way to a full follow through position. And to be honest, you should be able to hit this 80–90% of your usual distance. So for example, I hit a time about 165, 170, somewhere in that region. I'm going to see if I can at least get this to 150. Let me give it a go right here. I'm going to feel like it goes hip high, and then I just accelerate through as hard as I can. So that was a great strike. I don't know if you picked it up on the mic. Definitely looks like it's cleared the 150 quite comfortably, but this is going to teach you what it feels like to have a short swing to then when you can power through and hit it as hard as you want. So now that I've done that excessively short swing, if I now just try and increase the distance slightly of my backswing and just let it get to shoulder height, I will suddenly feel like, again, I can still sequence my body the right way, but I'm going to feel really comfortable with this position. So not only does it help you with your sequencing, it's also a bit of a psychology trick. It's a massive trick that can help us. So now if I go to more of, again, a bit of a shorter swing than what I'm used to, but a shoulder height and through, I'm probably going to hit this just as far as I normally do, but it's going to be a lot shorter swing. So let me give it a go for you right here. This is going to feel like a shoulder height swing, and I'm just going to blast my body through on the way down. God, I should do this more often. That was one of the best strikes I've ever done. So as you can see, a lot of these drills are, number one, the width. Number two, making sure the top of the backswing structure is good. And then number three, getting used to swinging short and accelerating that body through to a great follow through position. Those three things are going to allow you to shorten down your swing so that you can have that exceptional ball striking. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you'd like some one-to-one coaching online, I can give a lesson no matter where you are in the world. All of my coaching is done on the Skillist online coaching app. The link is down below. I'd love to work with you. And if you have any questions about that, please just ask away. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.